Welcome to National Park Week. Today we're going to talk about Everglades National Park. I've been working on Everglades National Park off and on for, going on 35 years. It's a whole different world than out west. When I first came to Florida, all we saw was this, on the highway, was just grass. And we didn't see anything to it. But when I finally got into it, physically walking into it, I discovered all kinds of beautiful things. It's one of the most beautiful places around. But it's a different kind of park. It's very subtle. One of the things you have to do is get out and it's really good if you have a chair and set it up and just sit, and all of a sudden maybe some birds will come by. There's lots of very intimate wildlife. Also watching the clouds roll through, and of course you better have an umbrella. It's always good to have an umbrella there. Gascon Bay is it's a little it's in the 10,000 Islands, just west of Everglades City, and it's just before you get to Indian Key on the right hand side going out. I first photographed it in 1989 with Oscar Thompson. I think it's basically a oyster bed, a circular oyster bed, where mangroves have started to grow around the circle of oysters. So it's really had it was a whole rookery. And so the first year was 1989, and ever since then, it seems like every other year or so it gets hit. And that tree, I think it got taken out in Andrew took it out. I found it about 3 miles away, upside down. It's a beautiful tree. It was an old red mangrove. But through the years, there's only 2 trees left now. Out of those maybe 16 or 20 trees. Different hurricanes would come, and hurricanes redo the environment. They renew things. So they're not bad, but they're very interesting. There's another island that we used to anchor by. It was called Dog Key and Little Pavilion Key. And there was a nice anchorage between these 2 little islands. And one year, what year was it? Can't remember what year it was. It was about probably 6 or 7 years ago. We were coming back from Turkey Key, that's from the south, coming back. We were going to anchor between these 2 islands. And we're looking and looking and looking, and the island was actually gone. Hurricane took the whole island out. There's 6 feet of water where that island was. So things change in Florida. And that's one thing about photography in Florida. It's always kind of neat because you can always take new pictures because the environment always changes. Actually, the first shots I took with Gascon was with the 5x7 Deerdorf. It's really strange, but in bright sunlight with I'm shooting F45 with an orange filter, the exposure is 1 second. And I have a little boat, and the water was throwing the boat against me, trying to hold the boat off, take a picture with the boat. Didn't want to wipe my tripod out, my camera. And you're kind of fighting the ocean. But you have to do what you have to do to get the shot. Because almost every shot I've taken in the Everglades, I'm in the water. Because I want to give you that feeling of being there. And besides, how can you take a 1 second exposure from a boat? For 1 year, we had this little we call it, it's a little sailboat. It's called the Peahen. It was pink and turquoise. Nikki fell in love with it, and it had I think a 12 or 14-inch draft. So we were able to take out. I just bought this 12x20 camera, and I wanted to take pictures with this. This kind of silly camera. It's really too big, but. We went to this is a year that there was about 6 trees left on Gascon. But we found this composition, I think it was two good, real beautiful trees. And we got now you have to realize the gear for that camera is about 120 pounds. So my extra gear, extra lenses, film holders are on the boat. So you set the tripod up, get the camera set up, and I take the boat and put the line around my waist, and I become the anchor. So I need something. I can just pull the boat over and get my film holder and shoot another shot. So that was overdoing it. 8x10 would have been fine, but sometimes you just have to do crazy stuff. That 12x20, every time you take a shot, is $20 for a piece of film. So I hope I gave you a little bit of about the Everglades. It's a subtle place, and the problem is you've got to stop. That's about Florida in general. You have to stop. You have to have patience. Unfortunately, out west, you can see the mountains driving down. People say there's nothing here to see. Well, you have to get out of your car in Florida. You can't see Florida in your car. You got to get out. So come enjoy and get out.